What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday to everyone. Hopefully, everyone is doing safe, staying well. If you had to take a COVID test, hopefully you have tested negative. If you did test positive, hopefully you have a full and speedy recovery with no long COVID issues. It is time now for the Thursday edition of the Pandemic Update for Thursday, August 10th, 2023. Starting off today with India, and then we do have several news stories, some that are not good to share with you. So let's get right into it. India logs another 39 new COVID cases. Their active cases are at 1,505, and their deaths now did rise. 531,920 deaths. So never good to see India's deaths up. And taking a look now at this. Everyone's probably thinking, back to school, fall's coming, fall surge. I know we're still in the summer surge right now, but people are starting to think about the fall and back to school, especially ones who have kids, and you're probably thinking, oh, it's time to get a booster shot for your child or yourself. Well, read the headline here. New COVID vaccine and booster shots for this fall to be available by the end of September. That's not good enough, in my opinion. We need them to be available by the end of August because school is starting soon. Some places are starting now. Booster shots should be out. Remember, it takes a few weeks for this to work into the body, or at least it did for the initial shot. So its best effectiveness is, maybe a week or two after you got the booster. So this seems like a delay to me. I thought it was supposed to be end of August, early September. Now they're saying end of September, and I even read another article that said maybe it won't be until sometime in October. And what's going to happen at that point, we don't know because we're already seeing EG.5, FL 1.5.1. I mean, these waves are already underway. There's a lot of people who haven't had a booster in a long time that need to get one right now. So, yes, unfortunately, delays in the next round of boosters, and here you go. Georgia doctors. Now, Georgia's not a state with high vaccine uptake, but, there are people there that are willing to take the vaccine and would like to take it and would like to get a booster. So, anywho, Georgia doctors report an increase in COVID cases. This is just an ongoing issue across the country. All right, now we got some sad news to report to you. Does anyone ever watch Fox in the late 90s, I think early 2000s? King of the Hill. It was a great show. Well, another King of the Hill star has passed away. Johnny Hardwick. During a welfare check, they checked up on him, and it turns out he was found dead. We don't know the cause of death yet, but he was found dead. He played the voice of Dale. And one thing that's coming to my mind right now is, if you remember the character Dale, if you watch King of the Hill, I love the show King of the Hill. I thought it was funny. Dale was a conspiracy theorist. I'm thinking in my head right now, what would Dale be saying? What would his conspiracy be on COVID? I don't know. Do you have a thought down below about that? Tell me. I would like to know. One thing that's going through my mind is they're not controlling the COVID virus because they want to save money for the Medicare because they're going to run out of Social Security. See, I'm trying to do a Dale voice there, but I don't know if that's actually would be the truth, but maybe that's what Dale would say if King of the Hill was still a show right now and COVID was a thing during King of the Hill. Moving on to this, another very sad death. Robbie Robertson, who was the guitarist for the band called The Band, that was the name of the band, and Bob Dylan has died at 80 years old. Most people know the group The Band from the song The Wait. Crazy Chester, gotta get back to Miss Fanny, gonna catch the cannonball to take me down the line. The band. The night they drove Old Dixie Town. It's a fantastic rock group from 60s and the 70s. I mean, it was just great. And then, of course, Bob Dylan. A lot of people know who Bob Dylan is, and he was the guitarist for them. So, yes, it's just, it's sad that he has passed away. We're losing so many great people. Again, I don't see what the cause of death is for him as well. If I find it, I'll let you know in future pandemic updates. All right, we do need to take a look at air quality. That's very important. Air quality affects our health. Taking a look here at the air quality, and you can see here, it's worse in the Northeast. Moderate. I mean, it's not terrible compared to what we've seen earlier in the summer. And the rest of the country right now is not doing too bad. Can I show you Hawaii on here? I don't think I can, but if I could, I mean, yes, I can. Already, here we go. Hawaii, we do want to take a look at Hawaii because, as you know, there's ongoing fires over in Maui right now, and there's just one bad site on the main island of Hawaii, so that is not terrible. I thought it would have been worse, but anywho, as you know, there's ongoing fires in Hawaii, and I do have a channel where I talk about climate. And on that channel today, I posted just a short 50 or 60-second video, just updating, and I'll repeat it here. The Maui fires have now cost the lives of 36 people. Very sad. And unfortunately, it's a part of climate change. There was a hurricane. The models got the hurricane wrong. It didn't directly impact Hawaii. It ended up staying intact longer than expected. It's a major hurricane. It's just south of there, but it was close enough that it provided some wind gusts. The conditions were dry, and it triggered a wildfire. If the models had gotten that correct, maybe there would have been a little bit more notice about this going to happen, but, it just happened. The models don't do too well with climate change. All right, moving on. We know the Walgreens COVID positivity index this week is at 44.7%. The prior week was at 41.3%. Difference of up 3.4%. Taking a look at BioBot. Drum roll, please. Let's see if there's an update here, because I am just now refreshing this. We're a little bit late in doing our update today. And let's see here. Does not look to me like we have an update yet. We should get an update again tomorrow or by the end of this week. We usually get one by the end of the week. But as you know, look here. Wastewater's rising all across the country. I did want to show you this in wastewater. This is from Iowa Tracker. This is a great website, and of course it's refreshing on me right now. But what I wanted to show you was, in the United States, I wanted to show you Mississippi. Someone asked me about Mississippi the other day. Ask and you shall receive. I do the best I can to find some data for you guys. And look at Mississippi. Since about early June, it was rising. Then it leveled off a little bit. Now the wastewater is rapidly rising. Through all of July, it rapidly rose. So that is not good to see. Speaking of wastewater, I'm going to be doing a special video tomorrow. It'll be out tomorrow morning. We're going to use this website right here. We're not going to look at it today. We're going to use it tomorrow. Wastewater scan. We're doing a second wastewater update. Why? Because let's just click on the site here. Here's one for you. Kinston, North Carolina. Because look, it shows influenza and other stuff. I'm seeing so many different people that keep saying, oh, I must have the summer flu. Watch my video tomorrow. I'll prove to you. We're going to go through a bunch of sites. There's very little tiny amounts of flu in some of the bigger cities. The rest of the country doesn't have it right now. I'll prove that to you tomorrow. It's COVID, not flu. Test yourself for COVID. Moving on to this. Wastewater sites from the CDC. Again, I don't think this updated as well. It usually updates on Thursday or Friday, but as you know, the number of higher sites is on the increase right now. And this is really bad. This is emergency department visits and hospital admissions. There's a 21.8% increase in emergency department visits specifically for coronavirus right now. That's not something we're happy about. It's not something we like to see. Hospital admissions in the past week, over 9,000 now. It's starting to go up. It's really starting to go up. Remember, I've been telling you this. A lot of people did not bother to get a booster. A lot of people have not been infected for a long time, and maybe there's still a few people that have never been actually infected to begin with. Well, there's not much immunity to be found in the population right now, and because of that, these new variants really have a lot of ground, and they can really take control, and you know what? With little immunity, there could be more severe cases. And look at this right here. We're seeing in the population across the United States, there is a rise in the number of emergency department visits right now, and we should get another update on this again soon. Alright, speaking of updates, we'll get a variant update again next week. EG.5 is 17.3%, and the other one I'm super concerned about is FL 1.5.1, which is at 8.6%. Why am I super concerned about that? Because it has other variants that are ahead of it. Well, because it's the variant dominating New York. And New York's not doing too well right now. Let's show you New Jersey first. Here's the hospitalizations in New Jersey right now. As you can see here, the hospitalizations in New Jersey, they did go up today. There's 288 people in the hospital. The number of people on a ventilator is at 10. The number of people in the ICU is at 29. And moving on now, let's take a look at Philadelphia. This is not good. Another day over 800. Yesterday was 849. Today's 803 for EMS calls. It's just been super busy. Let's see what's going on in Montgomery County. And we do have some calls going on there. Chester County. Good news. Not too busy right now, but I wasn't paying attention to earlier today. It could have been busier there earlier today. I got busy today. We had some rain. Whenever it rains, deliveries go up. So there you go with that. So I really wasn't paying attention. And I will say this. I did not see a lot of ambulances on the road today in Montgomery County. So that is some good news. Some bad news? Yeah, I can give you that. New York State, 1,037 new cases. Positivity is now 13.2%. The 7-day average is 12.2%. It's continuing to rise. It's not good, folks. This number keeps rising. And speaking of numbers that are rising, here's hospital admissions in New York State. It was going up. Now look at the trajectory. It's almost going straight up now for hospital admissions. Let's look at current hospitalizations and ICUs. And yeah, that number's continuing to go up as well. 819 people in the hospital, 78 in the ICU. Not good to see. How about New York City? Is New York City continuing to rise? Let's find out. It's slightly lower today. New York City has 385 people in the hospital, 38 people in the ICU. I do want to show Long Island. Remember, Long Island was going up, then they just stopped going up last week. Look what's happening. This week, Long Island's starting to go up again. 151 people in the hospital, 17 people in the ICU. All right, backtracking a little bit. I want to show you some data from HubBub World. Just want to show you a couple things here. There's a few states that people have been asking me about. Mississippi's one of them, but I also want to show New York and New Jersey. So here's Mississippi, and you can see in Mississippi, COVID. Down in the southern portion of the state, central portion of the state, and northwest portion of the state, that's where the biggest concern for COVID is. Flu, not an issue. RSV, not an issue. Influenza-like illness, again, right there on the Gulf Coast. That's the highest area for that. Let's go to somewhere else where we don't talk about. How about Oklahoma? Oklahoma, there are a couple near Oklahoma City influenza-like illnesses running moderate. RSV, a little bit near Oklahoma City. Flu, not an issue. COVID-19, highest near Norman, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma City. I think that's Norman, Oklahoma. And now let's go to my state, Pennsylvania. Ooh, yikes, this is not good. 98 people within a 5-minute walk in Philadelphia County could potentially be infected with coronavirus. 28 in Delaware County, 19 in Montgomery County, 7 in Bucks County. Allegheny County is at 10. How about influenza-like illness? Yeah, influenza-like illness is high as well in the Philadelphia metro area. RSV, not an issue. Flu, there is a little bit of flu prevalence in Philadelphia. And now let's go to New Jersey and then New York. New Jersey, hardly any flu. So if you live in New Jersey and you come to me and say you have, oh, I got the summer flu, do me a favor. Don't only take one test for COVID, take 2, because it may not show up in the test. That's a big problem right now. There's a lot of tweets where people are saying, I went to take a COVID test because I'm sick, didn't come up. Second time, it did come up. It's a big issue. Now let's take a look at COVID-19. You saw flu, not a big issue. Look at COVID. Yeah, closer to New York City. It's exploding right now. Down by the Jersey Shore, it's exploding. Influenza-like illness because of that. Really running high right now. There's actually 141. I believe this is Jersey City, up in that area, Bayonne, that area. Yeah, that's really high. 141 people within a 5-minute walk could potentially be contagious. Now let's take a look at New York. And New York is super concerning down by New York City. Look at influenza-like illness. Wow, some really high areas. There's actually one here that says 604 within a 5-minute walk. If influenza-like illness is that high, what is COVID at? Whoa, 1,828 contagious people within a 5-minute walk in New York City for COVID. That's really bad. You can see the rest of the state's not doing all that bad. But New York City, Lower Hudson Valley, Long Island, please be super careful. Remember to mask up in that area. N95 or better, folks. Same thing with New Jersey. So yes, we took a look at Hubbub data. We'll probably look at a little bit more tomorrow in the pandemic update for tomorrow. Maybe we'll look at Florida, California, and Texas. Moving on now, let's take a look at Texas this week. It's worth repeating from yesterday. Texas, 11,826 new cases. That's up 2,200 from the prior week. Fatalities are up 11 versus 8. That's up by 3. Hospitalizations increased by 112. And that is 860 versus 748. So that number is rising. It's picking up the pace in how fast it's rising now. That's not good to see. Puerto Rico today, 944 new cases. Hospitalizations, 158. 13 people in the ICU. And 2 deaths have been added for today. So Puerto Rico, the hospital number there did go up. ICU number did go up. It actually went up by 13 for hospitalizations. That's not good to see. Let's take a look at some international cases, shall we? And on the international standpoint, we see 31% decrease in cases, 63% decrease in deaths, but there are some places where cases are rising. We'll talk about both. South Korea, cases down 30%. Deaths down 26%. Brazil, cases down 19%. Deaths down 33%. Italy, cases down 80%. Deaths down 74%. Chile, cases are still up 20%. India, cases down 16%. Switzerland, cases are now up 32%. Afghanistan, cases are up 56%. And then we come down here to Bulgaria, cases up 63%. Vietnam, cases up 1%. Panama, cases down 14%. And their deaths are up 50%, 3 versus 2. And Iran, cases up 10%. Indonesia, look at this. Indonesia now reports 167% increase in cases and 6 deaths versus 4, which works out to a 50% increase in deaths. Denmark, cases now up 48%. Poland, cases up 34%. Myanmar, cases are now down 43%. Alrighty, guys, that does it for today's pandemic update. We will have another pandemic update again tomorrow. Remember, if you want to see my latest updates, just follow me on Twitter at COVID Data Report. I'm going to be tweeting a whole bunch of things this evening. Some of the things that we just saw here, and other stuff that you did not see here on the video. Remember, I can only fit so much into these videos. If I shared every news story that I tweet every day, these videos would probably be about an hour long, so we're not going to do that. Alrighty, I will see you all again tomorrow. Remember, special wastewater update tomorrow morning, which will include not only COVID, but flu data, RSV data, norovirus, all that stuff. We're doing it tomorrow. It'll be out tomorrow morning, probably by 10 or 11 a.m. I may record it tonight ahead of time and just release it tomorrow. Alright, I'll see you all again next time. Until next time, stay safe, everyone. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. If you want to see more content, subscribe to my channel down below. If you know anyone that needs a wake-up call that the pandemic's not over, by all means, share this channel with them. Alrighty, guys, stay safe. Have a great evening. Thanks for watching.